today I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. Hi everyone, so today we are here working on the pilot again. It unfortunately has some rust over here. I have a whole spot that is rusted out right here in the quarter panel. But since it's approaching 300,000 miles, I don't want to just patch it up with some Bondo or fiberglass or something and leave it. I'll actually be cutting out some of this piece and just filling it with 16 gauge sheet metal. Once I'm done with that, I will weld it in place and then just spray paint over it. I'm not going to do any body work. I'm not going to grind it down. I just don't want that hole in there. So that way water, snow, salt, nothing gets in there and rusts it even out further. So it's just going to be a quick and simple welding repair just to keep it from getting worse. And this isn't recommended. This isn't going to be a really good welding tutorial or tutorial on how to do this. This is just me quickly slapping this together just so I can get my car on the road and have time to, you know, hook up the jet ski or go for a drive or something instead of having to spend hours or days getting this thing perfect. It's just, I'm gonna whip it out in 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on the wind and my argon coverage for the TIG, but hoping to whip it out real quick and then go on to bigger and better stuff. I had to take off the strut on one of the sides that holds the back hatch open because it says do not puncture, take apart, apply heat or side force, all of which we would have done. So took that off, and then here's a view up of the rust. It is pretty bad and rusting, as you can see by applying some force to it. Now I don't see that the side is rusted out, so I probably won't address any of this because it's not poking through. Versus, you can see that's about ready to come out. So you can see the duct tape outline. I'm thinking something along the lines of right here, just to make sure I have fresh metal. And then unfortunately, I don't know if I want to cut into the side. It's going to be hard to bend this perfectly even and then weld it in. But this is a little bit stronger on this side compared to if I were only to weld it right here. So I don't know. I'll just cut out this part and then figure out how far I want to go on this side. Safety first, kids. Fortunately or unfortunately, the only part that is rusted out is actually this part, and rust starting right here and right there. So I could have just cut literally right about here and right about here and would have been fine. But I decided to go the extra mile just to make sure I got clean metal without any rust. And as we can see, clean here, and this is a literal inside view of the car. I got some metal shavings down there that I will shop back out, and then looks like now I will have to cut right here just because we can see some rust on the opposite side of here. I don't want to get tetanus or whatever, but on the other side of right here it is rusted. So when I was preparing for this is my sheet metal that I'll be welding in. It is 16 gauge, so compared to this is 18. It's very similar. Mine's just a little bit thicker. It was roughly around the same size. So that's how I decided on the dimensions, just like that. And then if I cut, say right around here, I'll just bend this right over, get the line somewhat similar, tack, hammer, and then we'll be all good. So we're just about ready to start welding. I got the ground hooked up, I got the torch already. But seeing all this rust, I mean, you see that rust, right? Just made me think about Matthew 6:19, which says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart is also." So, you know, it's a lot of fun welding rust, but unfortunately, all of our time on earth is going to be filled with moth, rust, thieves, uncertainty, tragedy. We know it. That's to be expected. Even Jesus says that we're not going to have it easy. And it's just, when you think about it, our time here is just so finite, so short. We think, you know, oh, I got another 20, 30, 40 years. But when in reality, when you think about it, life is extremely, extremely short. It's like a vapor, havel, you know, super, super short. We're just here for a tiny split second, and we're gone. And when you think about it, when you're gone, you're gone, you're dead. And unfortunately, for those that don't know Jesus, when you die, you are going to hell. You know, no matter what good deeds you did, no matter how good you were, if you don't know Jesus, unfortunately, you are going to eternal damnation. And Jesus himself says that he is the way, the truth, and the life. And unfortunately, for those that don't know him, it will be a very, very bad eternity. And we know our time here on earth is not promised. At any moment, literally any moment, it could be taken away. You could die, car accident. I mean, there's a million ways where your life could be cut short. And you might not have time to go, oh, well, I wish I would have thought about Jesus. I wish I would have thought about the afterlife, what would happen when I die. And thankfully, that time is now. Think about it. What will happen when you die? Where is your trust in? Is your trust in things where moth, rust, riches? You know, everyone thinks, oh, well, I got money, I'm good. For a little while. You could be good here on earth, but then when you die, your money's of no value to you now or later. I mean, it's nice that money's there, but you got to put your hope and your trust in something, and money, rust, riches, that ain't it.
Take me far away. Take me far away. Take me
here we have the finished product. It's still hot. You can see some of the nice welds, and it's through and through. It looks like there's a pinhole, but this is the second pass on top of it. And then this one is completely welded as well. And this side sputters because you can see one panel and then two panels, and underneath they're spot welded. So when I was welding them, I wanted to get both of them so I'd have full penetration on there, and I kept getting the paint or the primer or whatever right between these two layers. So that's why there's a lot of smoke, and I had to change out tungsten so often. And there's a small dent here because it got pretty hot while welding, but not too bad. And then this dent formed from the heat. Maybe it'll come back out, maybe it won't. It doesn't matter as long as this is solid, and as long as this closes, this hatch, which we don't know yet. But I'll clean it up with the rotary tool with just a flat disc. Clean it up a little bit, feather this in with some sandpaper, primer, sealant, black spray paint.
Imagine this rope, okay? Pretend this rope just goes on forever, okay? Now imagine that this rope is a timeline of your existence. You just exist forever. You see this red part? This would represent your time on earth. You've got a few short years here on earth, and then you've got all of eternity somewhere else. This is your existence. And what blows me away is some of you, all you think about is this red part. It's all you think about. You're consumed with this. You go, oh man, I can't wait till here. You know, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to save so I can really enjoy this part right here. And you're consumed with that, and you're thinking, oh man, am I going to get to travel? Am I going to eat well? Am I going to do this during this part? And I'm like, are you kidding me? What about this? What about this? What about all this stuff? It's crazy to me because the Bible teaches that what I do during this little red part determines how I'm going to exist for millions and millions and millions of years forever. And so why would I spend this little red part trying to make myself as comfortable as possible, enjoying myself as much as I can? Paul says, look, I'm going to live my life for this mission. I'm going to spend my life, invest my life for this moment when I cross that finish line. See, I'm going to forget about all this stuff I could enjoy, and I'm not going to look around. I'm going to be like a runner, just looking at that moment when I face God, because when I face Him, then I don't get this chance over again. We get one chance at this life on earth, and it can end at any second for any of us. We've got one chance at this, and then comes eternity. And I'm not going to be fooled. I'm not going to spend my life down here. See, people look at some of my decisions and go, oh, you're so stupid because that's going to really affect this. I go, no, you're stupid because it's going to affect all of this. Man, I'm serious. I look at the way people live and I go, wow, that is so crazy. You are so crazy. You're going to do that right now, just to enjoy right now, not even knowing if you have tomorrow, and you think that's smart and that I'm dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Paul goes, I'm not going to look around at all this stuff. And it's tempting. It's tempting to all of us. That's what I'm saying. Down here, it's crazy because everyone lives that way. Everyone lives for the red part. No one's thinking about the millions of years afterwards. It's just this crazy deception that we can't get out of our minds. And Paul goes, I'm not doing that. He goes, I keep my eyes on that. I keep my eyes on that finish line, and I'm going to forget what's behind me. I'm not looking around. I'm straining. Because I'm straining forward. I'm like stretching forward for that mark. I'm going to pass this thing. I'm going to live this out, and I'm going to face him. I'm going to come before the judges, and he's going to hand me that trophy. He goes, I'm going to get it. And I haven't gotten there yet. He goes, but you better believe I'm using every muscle, exerting every bit about me, because I'm going to pass that line well.